here with me today, as always, is Cupcake Paints, and today I have a very special guest. That guest being Nate Dool, the creator of those Daydreamers ass blog.
Thank you. It's cool to be here.
Yeah. So, could you introduce yourself to people who might not know who you are?
All right. Well, my name is Nate, otherwise known as Damien, the mod on the blog. I, I'm the writer and general creator of the blog, of the Ask blog. I can't take credit for any of the art there, since it's mostly all commissioned art.
Yeah. The suffering of Jaeger furry, and you just can't actually draw.
No, I can't draw for to save my life.
Yeah, for those not to know, those Daydreamers is an ass blog that Nate's been running along with the artist Blind Kite, who you may know from Grimm's Tale, and a couple of other people. He and yeah, those Daydreamers is basically an Undertale AU where it's basically like post-pacifist, like a post-pacifist thing where Asriel's alive because Frisk gave up half their soul, but giving up half their soul made it so that they got boss monsterified along with him. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird like that. The details behind that was that it was originally inspired by a different blog. I'm trying to remember the name of the blog that inspired me. I'd have to go onto my blog and go through
or something like that.
I think so. Hold on, let me just check my about page.
Because
Half-Hearted
I remember
Dreemurrs.
specifically that's in your about page on your Tumblr. Which, by the way, if you want to check out his Tumblr or any of the other stuff that we're going to talk about today, it's all in the description below.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Half-Hearted Dreemurrs was the original inspiration, and I kind of, I did make sure to ask them, so like, hey, I hope I'm not treading on your feet here. I've got a similar idea, and they were like, no, it's fine. So in obviously my head, it was like, okay, what if Frisk became a goat? But how would I do that and keep Asriel alive? And it's like, all right, how about like the soul sharing thing? And how's that going to work? And through some mental gymnastics, I figured it out. And the reason that they became a goat was it was part in the connection with Asriel, that because her soul had sort of meshed with his, or whatever was left of his, and due to the residual magic that was still in the air due to the breaking of the barrier, through magic shenanigans, it translated in her becoming a goat.
Yeah.
People were like, "Why did you give her long hair?" It's like, well, why not?
Because it looks.
I mean, she's growing hair everywhere else. Of course, she's gonna maybe have a hair growth spurt. I don't know. I didn't really think too far ahead with that.
My cat apparently Charlie Fared in the chat's like, my cat Asriel hopped in my lap. He has deemed Nate as his favorite Brit. Yeah, we've been having a lot of British people on lately.
Wasn't Vanward British as well?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Was.
Not
anymore.
That took him out. There could only be one British person on this podcast.
We've infected him. He is now American.
He will no longer have the beautiful sounding vowels.
Oh no.
I mean, he's a voice actor. He can change however he talks most of the time, right?
Yeah, he can already imitate Americans pretty well, so
Yeah. So, anyways, as always, we got a set of questions to ask you and stuff.
Of course.
But we also gonna take questions for the chat if anyone wants to ask anything about this blog once we start talking about it. So yeah, first question is probably just a simple question. How'd you find out about Undertale?
That was actually through the artist who I've been commissioning for years now, Blind Guide.
Mm-hmm.
I originally started off just going into art streams whenever she was announcing them, and she'd have like stuff going on in the sides, little videos or something. And one day she had a video of an Undertale playthrough going on, and it just caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it's a downward spiral. Once you're hooked, you just go.
Yeah. I originally found it because my sister showed me a let's play of it, and I was like, and she was like the first part of a let's play of it from I believe Cry, and it was just like the ruins bit of it. Like I didn't even get to the end of that. And I was just like, yeah, it looks kind of interesting. I'm definitely one of those opinions that Undertale gets more interesting the more you play it.
I mean, it was because of her. I also found out about I think it was 2 fan projects. One was Project Red. Have you heard of that one?
Oh yeah, it was like one of those first Undertale fan games.
Which looked really good. And
that looks
I think the other one was a Kara-based one, which multiple knives.
You mean the Dream Reborn fight?
Yes, that's the one. I believe I follow them on Tumblr.
Yeah. Dream Reborn. That was like the first of all of the AUs.
Was it?
Yeah. The first page of a Dream Reborn came out like 5 days after the game came out.
I mean, it must have been pretty quick to realize that, with Asriel and everything, so.
We can't leave the goat behind. I want the goat.
want the goat boy.
Everybody wants the goat boy. My goat boy's better, but
well,
who's taking sides? Who's taking sides? Favoritism doesn't exist here, I swear.
He's probably just like, you only have. You're just like the creator would probably be like, he only has half a human soul. Mine has a full human soul. Get out of my level. It's not the size of the human soul, it's how you use it.
Exactly. But yeah.
I mean, I am one of those people that's just like, I wouldn't mind like version of Asriel doing a fight against other versions of himself.
I mean, my Asriel has met other versions.
Yeah, he's
what?
met. Yeah, he's met. He's met. I believe he's met. Growth Spurt Asriel and also.
Yeah, one from Giga Goku.
Oh yeah.
One from Blind Kite's own. Not the Asriel, but the Kara and the Frisk from that AU.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of other places. I just quite enjoyed like every now and again doing little crossovers and seeing how they interact with each other.
I'm just like it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird imagining though. It's like since you're Frisk and Asriel are lovey-dovey, them just imagining like the ones where they're like where they definitely consider each other siblings. I always thought of like say Undertale TC96 AU. I always imagine like my Frisk and Asriel being a lovey-dovey, and then their Frisk and Asriel just like looking at each other, and then just being like,
yeah. I've had people have a go at me with how my handling of Frisk and Asriel. I think I had an ask at one point where people were like, "You're disgusting. You realize they're meant to be like, bro, they're like siblings, right?" It's like, yeah, but they're not. You know, they're not genetically related to each other. The nearest thing you get is that they share a soul. That's about it. They're adopted siblings. There's nothing in the rulebook that says that, you know, that sort of relationship can change over time as they get older.
Basically, my opinion when it comes to this is like it's all about like how the other person sees the other person. Like, do they see them as a sibling or do they see him as a?
It's one thing that people seem to forget is that Frisk came from the human world, so that, you know, they fell into the underground. That there's no actual sort of family thing there originally until Toriel, being the lovable lady she is, took her in.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so to get back on the topic of other Asriels and stuff, not gonna lie. I actually once wrote a fanfic with another Asriel fighting mine and stuff. and I had just played Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix when I did this. So I made it kind of like the Sora and Roxas fight in that game, and I'm just thinking about it. I'm just like, oh,
that's always a good fight.
Yeah, that's my favorite boss fight in that game, which is funny because it wasn't even in the original game. But yeah, I'll elaborate more on that when we actually interview the creator of that other Asriel that Mine fought, because oh boy, I'm gonna put that off as long as I can.
Well, you've got plans of grandeur.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, funny behind the scenes info and stuff. Van Wood, first off, great guest, loved talking with him and stuff. But apparently Van Wood knows like basically everybody, so he was just like, hey, you want people on your podcast? I can invite people. I'm just like, sure. And then like 5-6 people come in.
I did notice that yesterday. Yeah,
it was crazy. It was just because another behind the scenes. Usually after the podcast ends, we'll stay in the voice chat for, I don't know, about like 5 minutes or so, just, you know, just general chit chat, and then we say our goodbyes and we leave. No, last time it was different.
Yeah, we stayed in there for like an extra hour just talking to each other because more people like kept joining in and stuff. Like, this is a podcast after show, and I'm just like, what? What?
I was glad to be a part of that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was crazy, but while that was happening, Van Wood was over in some other servers just promoting us or something and giving other creators the link to the Discord server, and so while we were talking, all of these people were joining, and it was just crazy.
I know. Oh my god, that was definitely that was an interesting Friday night.
It was.
But yeah. Anyways, let's go on to a different question. What what do you think made you like drawn specifically to the Dreamer family in general? Because the Dreamer family seems to be like your favorite and stuff out of the characters.
What drew me towards them?
Yeah. What do you think like parts of their personality or whatever drew them towards you?
I don't know. I just liked the idea of, okay, Toriel and Asgore are kind of a dysfunctional couple. There's a reason for that because obviously they lost both their kids, and like there's a part of me that just wanted to give them a bit of happiness and try to make the family whole again. And besides obviously having the whole Asriel and Frisk shipping thing, having those two be a part of that just felt like it was right. It just helped to, over time, that relationship would be able to fix itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not perfect by any means. I mean, in my head, Toriel and Asgore still have their little issues, but they're on good enough speaking terms that they live in the same house.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Guess what? So, in my AU...
Oh god, here we
Mark
go.
it off your bingo chart.
Yeah.
Take a sip of apple juice or whatever you're drinking.
Oh, I got my Pepsi right here. So
take a gulp of water, hydrate, people.
I have pink lemonade, actually, for me.
Oh, we have 6 people watching so far. Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. Woo!
Nice.
I mean,
Yes.
It is nice because it's not like because of like other times where you're having someone notable name and stuff. Like your blog is known, you yourself aren't really.
Yeah. I try to explain to people that I'm just the creator. People are like, oh my god, your art's amazing. No, I don't. Again, I've said this. I don't take credit at all. That's all to do with, Blind Kite and another artist called Bloody Archimedes, who's been doing art for me a lot recently.
If you want to check those amazing people out.
Thank you very much. Again, like I said, people get surprised. Wait, you commissioned all of that? I mean, yeah. How else am I going to get the art out there? I mean, I have no artistic talent at all. I couldn't draw to save my life. If I did, it would probably take me days. And by then, I'd probably be out of snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
be out of snacks.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing where it's kind of a thing where I also have no drawing talent to my thing at all, and unlike you, when I first started out, I didn't have like a job or anything to get money, so I was just like, well, just gonna roll up my sleeves and write fan fiction instead because I can't get a comic artist.
The one thing I did before, because I have another blog, which was it's more MLP based.
Mm-hmm.
And I had people asking me before, like, "Oh, your art's amazing," and so, like, while I do appreciate people reaching out and appreciating the art, I want people to recognize the original artists and stuff. So I ended up commissioning a small comic piece think it was maybe 3 or 4 panels, which just explained, hey, like a lot of people ask this. This is not true. This is the actual artist. Go follow them. And I should really do the same for the Daydreamer blog, just to get that out there. I know that I do have that referenced on my banner for the blog. That, you know, it says those Daydreamers at the top. I think it's the top right. It says like written by Nate and drawn by Blind Kite, I think. And I've always make sure to reference in every post that I've ever done to reference who it is that is drawing the stuff. In every post, I always put in the little tag, the Tumblr tags. My ones that I always put in are the Undertale AU, those Daydreamers, Blind Determination, and then just whatever other little tags that need to be in there, be it, oh, this is Frisk or Asriel, or for my obviously personalized versions of Toriel, Asgore, and Kara, you've got Elder Toriel and Elder Asgore, and then you have Raven Kara.
I remember reading specifically with Elder Asgore. It's just wasn't he based off that one king guy from Final Fantasy 15?
He is. He's based off Regis, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people like that design. Because Prinny was telling me that as part of the whole Undertale thing with monsters is that when they have children, before they have kids, they're essentially immortal. But when they have children, that life force is transferred to them, and they start to age.
Yeah, I think it's boss monsters specifically that are like that. I think regular monsters just age normally. Well, maybe not normally. They probably live longer than most humans, but
yeah. You think about how long the monster human war went on, and King Asgore was there for hundreds of years.
Hundreds, maybe,
and he hadn't aged at all.
Or so.
Yeah, and he hadn't aged at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought to myself, oh, it'd be a cool idea to change the designs that it looks so that he still has some remnants of the blonde in his beard and stuff, but he's starting to gray and get old. His joints don't work. He's got a walking stick. He's got a leg brace to help him walk better because he's got arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Toriel, she's obviously older. Her fur is more grown out, and she looks more as a quote unquote nanny goat when you look at her.
Nanny goat.
And that same sort of aging effect has happened to Asriel and Frisk, since obviously I introduced their kid, Stefan, who is absolutely adorable. He's a little bean. I haven't thought too much of his character other than he's adorable and can maybe see he can interact with other timelines. He's a bit weird.
Yeah, I just imagine him just looking down and seeing a random at you, and it's just the hell's going on there?
I thought of it maybe something like he was utilizing Sans as shortcuts, sort of thing.
Mom, Dad, there's this version of you where I think you just died then, and the other, and Mom, you went into a blood rage and getting red eyes and stuff.
The thing, because something you mentioned earlier, when you were explaining, obviously my blog, and it's, with Frisk being in the pacifist timeline. There's actually a thing with that I haven't had the chance to explain in a comic yet, and I really want to. But the Frisk that we all know and love from those Daydreamers, she was actually originally, in my head, I'd planned for her to be from the Genocide timeline. And she was almost at the point where Kara could possess her completely. But each time she kept getting to the Royal Palace and kept encountering Sans, no matter how hard she tried, no matter how much determination she had, she couldn't beat him. And eventually Sans sort of just broke her down, and she gave in. And she repented for everything that she did, all the monsters she killed, and said that if she could do it all over again, she would do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sans, being kind, killed her, allowing her to reset the timeline, and she started over. At the cost that she retained all of the memories from that timeline as a sort of punishment. It's like, you will carry around this guilt for as long as you live. The best thing you can do is try to repent for that. Make good on your promise and do good.
That reminds me of like your latest post with Asriel having nightmares and stuff about being flowers.
Oh yeah. A lot of people were like, does he still have nightmares? And I was like, yes. Like, there still has to be some trauma there. It can't be all sunshine and rainbows. As much as I would love to, he still has to have that residual demon in the back to give him that character flaw.
Yep. Yeah, and also I could think with also maybe Frisk also has dreams like that, but she doesn't unlike Asriel, she doesn't try to bring it up or anything.
Well, like I said, I haven't brought it up in a comic yet. It's not just Asriel and Frisk who have the demons, as I call them. It's also, strangely enough, Sans, my version of Sans, has his own demons. To the point where
I was about to say, I didn't think
he blames himself for
up yet or not.
So what?
I didn't think Sans actually showed up at all.
Well, I have plans for him to show up. I've been trying to formulate a plan in my head, like how I'm going to do this. The basic idea I have so far is that Frisk is going to visit Sand and Papyrus's house, and Papyrus is out doing his own thing, and she goes around and eventually finds Sand's room. Beg your pardon?
No, they're good. Just a joke. Anyways, keep going.
And so she goes up to Sand's room, stands outside, and she can hear him crying. And she's not sure what's wrong. She's never heard him cry before. So she knocks on the door, opens up, and Sans is there, just in his, his normal cheery self. It's like, "Are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, everything's fine." And she can sort of see through the BS. Like, she's come to realize when people are lying to her over time, like just body language and how people speak. Yeah. And she sits down with them, and they have this talk. And at that moment, my Sans reveals something to her that he's kept hidden for hundreds of years. And in that moment, he drops this disguise. The skeleton form that he had was nothing but a magical disguise. And he reveals himself to be human. Yes.
You
Yes.
broke the pasta.
I know. That's what I was waiting for. And then he reveals that Sans and Papyrus, they were just cover names. That they were actually that his real name, I need to actually get the names up because I had a picture commissioned of their real forms. And believe it or not, Papyrus kind of looks like a femboy.
Oh my god.
I will happily link it in the chat and just hear you just dissolve into what? Elias and Makal were other real names. Makal is Sans, and Elias is Papyrus.
I like those.
Yeah,
You know what?
cool.
It's being fussy. Come here. And they were, in my head, they were sent by humans to go and watch over the monsters and make sure that they didn't do anything stupid. And they had this, they were able to use magic and they disguised themselves as monsters. That, because I basically took advantage of that whole part in the game where you go up to the shopkeeper and they say, well, one day the skeleton bros just appeared and they just asserted themselves. So there's my intro for them. There's the entry point. They just showed up one day. But their magical disguise came at a cost. That the more they used it, and because of the ambient magic in the underground, it was affecting them. And the magic was sticking more often, and it was harder for them to remove the disguise. And eventually, Elias or Makal, I'm getting mixed up with names.
Your own characters, man.
They're my own characters, and I'm losing my mind because I'm excited talking about it. I've kept this hidden for so long. I'm like, I want to talk about this. Elias / Papyrus used the disguise for so long, he was locked into that disguise, and hasn't been able to change out of it since. Makal, on the other hand, he's the better magic user and the wiser of the two brothers. He was able to. This is why, when he goes into his room, he drops the disguise, and that way it sort of refreshes the timer of sorts. There are still side effects he's gotten, like one of his hands looks almost completely skeletonized.
Mm.
So he kind of keeps that hidden. That's why you see his hands in his pockets a lot. But yeah, that's the big kind of I wanted to reveal to a lot of my followers, and I get that in comic form. I think that would be a really cool kind of shocker for everybody.
Yeah, I can understand. Like there are a couple moments in my AU where just like get to it. Ooh, how do people react?
It takes a while to build things up. As a writer, like you feel like, am I gonna get anywhere? But then you realize down the line there is that light at the end of the tunnel, that everything you have built up to will eventually pay off.
Okay, speaking of my story just a little bit, have you actually read any of it? I know it's... I know
I've been busy with other things, so I haven't had the chance to actually sit down and read it. But that is on my list of things to do, as well as reading through. Was it TC 96's
Yeah, Undertale.
Undertale as well?
Undertale, as in.
That's the one.
Mhm.
I will get around to doing that. I mean, I am following them on Tumblr, but all the things they have been posting recently are of the Mewtwo comics, and I love those. If you haven't read those, I highly recommend going watching them,
Also,
reading them because it's adorable.
TC96. Yes. If there's like some reason that you're watching this, please come to the show. I love your stuff so much. Anyway,
they're amazing.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So yeah, I'm honestly surprised that we've been talking about stuff that isn't just Frisk X Asriel for this long. But hey, speaking of which, for those wondering, hey, what do these things actually look like? And I remember you specifically, Nate, wanted me to show this. So yeah, this is putting it right there, trying to make it so it doesn't block out any of Cupcake's amazing artwork. Yeah, this is basically the banner that.
Yes.
For those days.
You see little
Dreemurrs.
Damon in the back there.
Yeah, there's Frisk. There's Asriel. There's Kara, and there's Damien being like, yes, my ship.
Yes, is the best. I've dropped the name Blind there. It's the name I referred to her earlier, which is Prinny, and you're probably wondering about that. It goes back to the whole question you asked me earlier. It's like, oh, how did you get into everything? And it was, I've been commissioning for a very, very long time. I think I've been commissioning art since maybe 2008. And I met Print, but back when I first met her, on For Affinity, she was going by a different account, which was Prinny EX. Big fan of the Disgaea games. I think her persona at the time was a humanoid Prinny, and so I've always known her as Prinny in all of her live streams and stuff like that. And then she, moved account, became Kite and Blind and all that. But I've always referred to her as Prinny. And she doesn't mind. She honestly doesn't mind.
Yeah, I mean, in the chat, Oh My Colony is this the creator of Those Day Dreemurrs, Pog, from Workful Jakku?
What? Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is. Hi, Jakku.
Oh. They're just like Pog. Poggers.
Pog.
You're reminding me of a friend now. It's like, I'll be playing video games with him, and he just, something happens. Poggers.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a huge fan of Those Day Dreemurrs. I am too, that's why he's here.
Now that that's there, I may have to get a commission, either from Prinny or from Bloody Archimedes, which is just Frisk going, I guess you are my little pug champ. Come here. I might as well hop on the bandwagon. I'm this deep in.
And meanwhile, Asriel just has the most confused face, like, what's a pog champ?
Thanks, Jakku. It's always nice to have another fan here.
I really love the art style. Yeah, even though it's not his.
Again, it's not my own. It's completely all commissioned art.
Which is why.
Which
is why it takes so long.
You don't need to apologize, Dr. Mecha. It's fine.
We're gonna be going for a while
you're
longer.
here. You're here anyway. Come
Yes.
join the absolute chaos that is this podcast.
Yay!
Exactly. All right. So yeah. Okay. So
Because you you're here. You have a Brit talking. You have an absolutely adorable go and an absolute shambling mess. I guess that's me.
wait. I
and
thought
then
you
you
were the
have
British
pasta.
one.
I'm both the Brit and the shambling mess.
Well,
And you are the
me.
pastor. You are the pastor.
And
I'll take you al dente.
And I'm a ghost. Shh, down.
I haven't actually explored on my blog. What's the name? Napstablu?
Yeah, Napstablook.
I haven't really explored that character too much in my blog. I mean, Melaton has appeared once.
Yeah, with the whole like ratings being like 999 for every.
Yes, I liked that because again, originally the whole idea of having Frisk and Asriel was like, all right, this has happened. Asriel is back. He deserves the chance to be happy. Frisk was like, I'm gonna take you on a trip around on the underground, show you everything that's new and everything that made me happy. So that's why they visit the hot dog stand, and do the dancing. I think eventually I'm gonna have them show up at Muffets at some point.
Fluffy or Fluffy?
Yes, it's like what. That would be a quite interesting thing. Just having Muffet go up to Frisk and be like, "Huh?" and like to sort of inspect, like a hands-on inspection. It's like, you are still the human, but furry. How is this possible? Sit down for tea and tell me all about it.
I can't bake you now. The hair will get into the the donuts.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I also, well, they would have got in there before unless you like scalped her or something. Wow, that's dark. Anyways, so.
Go on.
So, this is more of a not an Undertale ass, but more of a as a fellow furry woo woo.
Oh, whoa. What's this? Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. What?
Hello.
What made you realize that you were that you were a furry? Was there like a single moment that you were just like, oh no, that girl,
was there a defining
moment?
Was there a defining moment? What basically you're asking is, what was that kind of gotcha eureka moment? I guess when I had a proper persona back in 2010, I guess that was the point where it's like, well, I'm this far in now. Back then, I actually had my first persona was a raccoon girl. Just over time, it developed. She went through a couple of outfit designs, grew up, and I had a conversation with someone, and after that, I was like, all right, I need to stop kidding myself. Rather than trying to pretend to be someone who I'm not, let's try to be someone who I am. And that's how Natalia became Nate.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to change too much with the name. It's like the NAT. Okay, what can I do with NAT? And I was like, oh, Nathaniel works. And Nathan Drake is one of my favorite video game characters. Like, well, Nate works. It's a comfortable name. It rolls off the tongue nicely. It's easy to remember.
Never stop me from being baked, but
And the dual part of the name. It's like, well, I've had. I think there was a part of me very early on in Nate's career, as it was, that I still had this idea of having this girly side, and this is where Natasha came in, which was his like originally it was sort of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of thing, that whenever Nate got really emotional, he would go through this bodily transformation to this more angry female version of himself. And over time, that was like, well, that's a cool concept, but it can be a bit finicky. So I literally just took a proverbial sword down the center and split them into two characters. So you now have Nathan. So you now have Nathan and you have Natasha, but rather than cause confusion, Natasha is shortened to Ash, and it's a slightly cooler name. But so they essentially act as twins, and yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Again, Undertale and the whole Dreemurrs family was basically me being like, hang on, I like that. I like pictures of these fluffy goats. It's a bit too much. And I only got a persona like or late last year and stuff from one of my friends and stuff. It's just like. It was just like, oh, I wish I had a persona, and they were just like, yeah, I'll draw it for you. I'm just like, what? You don't want me to say or anything? No, I'll just do it. And so yeah, I am personally a deer because deer are awesome, and I like the duality of how they can be both big and imposing, but also delicate and stuff like that. Which is also a lot about how I feel like me for no reason.
I guess you could say you're pretty endearing. I'll take my buck to the bank. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
Yeah, the window's right over there, buddy. Please crash through it.
It's gonna be like that Scott Pilgrim moment where it's like, hey, is Scott here? No, he just left. He just jumps out the window.
Scott Pilgrim. Like the other week, I saw that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was on the Nintendo eShop for a Nintendo Switch, and I was just like, I need to get that. I watched the movie a whole bunch, and I read the first 2 volumes of the story. I have all the volumes of it, but I haven't read every single bit of it.
Scott Pilgrim unlocked the power of self-respect.
Yes. Oh dear. Okay, I'll shut up. Quietly, Charlie. Cupcake, when did you start liking Afro characters? I blame Disney. Yeah, I remember there was like this one thing in like there was like
Robin Hood though.
Yeah,
he be handsome.
Oh,
dashing.
goodness.
Like there was like a legit converse. I don't know what show it was from. It was just like some random comedy. I think it actually might have been like Modern Family or something. And there were like 2 characters being like, you know, there's something weird, like, you know, Robin Hood from the Disney one where he's a fox? Was it just me, or was he kind of cute?
It was pretty good. You mentioned that. I'm reminded of another artist that I follow on both Twitter and for Affinity. I believe their name is Terradin, or Terranin. But they have this habit of creating artwork of Disney characters or other popular characters and making female versions of them. And every time I see it, and I show a friend, and we're both kind of, is it hot in here? Is it just me? Like they recently did one of Wolflink. I'm like, damn, that's actually she's looking kind of thick though. She's
the
done
heck?
one. She's done one of Robin Hood. She's done one of Fox McCloud. She's done one of Mushu of all things.
Mushu.
It's like, wow. Whew. Fan self. It's like, I've got to stay pure. My persona already has a waifu.
Meanwhile, Cupcake Pants just like, I wonder what that feels like. It seems exhausting. Miss Asexual over here.
I just look at them like, oh, they're so pretty. I like their design.
Why am I giving them a hug? Because you look fluffy.
Oop.
I think going back to your earlier question about like the defining moment of when I became a proper furry. I think part of that came part and parcel in my college days, where I was first introduced to a webcomic called Two Kinds, which, as you may or may not know, is written and drawn by Tom Fishbach, who's the brother of Markiplier. And this was many, many years ago now. So I knew of Tom before I knew of Mark. And I used to follow Two Kinds. I mean, I still follow Two Kinds
Oh, it's that
rigorously
comic.
to this
I just
day.
looked it up and I was just like, yeah, it's that one.
Yes. That it used to update a lot more often back in the day. Obviously, as time has gone on, there's the writing he has to do. There's the actual drawing, and he also has a Patreon that he runs. So I can understand why sometimes the pages take a while to come out.
I'm just like wondering, like, he's been making this for like
It's like 15 years now.
Yeah, 17. It's gonna be 18 years later this year. And I'm just like, geez, what is, geez, when's it end? I always get that because I like shows and stuff that are nice and complete and stuff. I blame mainly like Avatar: The Last Airbender and stuff. That was like,
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was like the first big grand epic story that little kid me got into. So I just like things that are complete and full and stuff.
I'm trying to think of one of the first shows that, like, animated shows that I watched that was long running. I honestly can't remember. It's been so long. Obviously, my interests nowadays have shifted towards more anime. I think Dragon Ball Z, one of the ones that I can definitely think of. Outlaw Star being one of the more mature cartoons I watched later on in life. But damn, is it not a good series.
What sort of, are you watching any anime from this seasonal block?
There's the Digimon 2020.
Mm.
Dr. Stone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I did try to get into the new Inuyasha, like Half-Blood Princess series. I watched maybe 2 episodes and it just kind of lost me.
Yeah, speaking of which, like, me back in the day, big crush on Kagome.
She was alright, maybe a little obnoxious over time.
Also Sango. Sango was pretty.
Oh, Sango was waifu.
Sango was waifu.
Sango is always waifu.
Sango is love. Sango is life.
Mad respect.
Also, if you date her, you get a nice, cute, awesome fire cat too.
Heck yeah, Kilala is adorable.
Yeah.
She
has a cute travel size form and an awesome
exactly
awesome, like, tiger size form when you need to be protected.
Oh, one other comic that comes to mind as well. Going back to that, leaping way back to that. Are you familiar with the webcomic House Pets?
No, I am not.
It's written
Let me look that
and
up real
drawn
quick.
by an artist called Rick Griffin. I do heavily recommend it because it takes anthropomorphized characters with a different twist. Like they're not as tall as humans. They're sort of maybe half the size. They have this really the designs are quite nice, but the story can be a bit kind of what? Like he
Yeah.
catches you off guard in some places.
Oh, jeez. Another comic that's been going on.
Again, I definitely recommend House Pets. I actually have, I think, at least 11 volumes that he has released in physical, like of the comic that he's released in physical form. I've got, I think, 11 out of 12 volumes.
Yeah.
And he releases them pretty regularly, actually. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Jeez.
Again, regularly.
Some artists are just like, I can't. Artists like, I can get like one drawing out if I really cram myself.
He's definitely got some commitment. I hands off to him for that. And the nice thing about the strip, like the uploads, it's not like Two Kinds where it's just one massive page. Because he does these in like 3 uploads, he reduces it more to like strips. Like there might be a couple of panels, and it's nice and digestible, and it keeps you on your seat a little. Like, oh, this has happened, and he drops this bombshell, and like, oh, I have to wait now until Wednesday or Friday to figure it out. And the breaks he has whenever he ends a chapter, he likes to have a lot of cliffhangers, but he doesn't wait too long to get back into it. There's always like, okay, I need a break from doing all this serious stuff. Let me do some silly stuff like Spot the Super Dog, and he'll do that for he'll do that for a little while, or he'll have guest week. He'll like get in like people who have done fan art and do that for a while, and then once that's all done and resolved and he's had his mental break, he'll go back to resuming where he left off, which is quite nice when you want to have something continuity, consistency.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go check him out.
Yeah, I'll be sure to. Okay, put this off long enough.
Was that about Blame Disney?
Blame Disney.
Oh, that's you saying about Blame Disney. Just looking at the chat. I've had to mute the stream so I don't hear myself, because that's just going to screw me over. It's like, well, I can't handle this. There's too many voices in my head.
Yeah, I just do the pop out chat, so I have no idea what this actually sounds like.
Okay. So, big question time.
Fingers and buzzers.
Okay, what made you ship Asriel and Frisk together?
What isn't there to make me ship Asriel and Frisk? They do be looking kind of cute together.
Is that it?
They wholesome. They are the one true pair. I mean, what is there not to like? I'd always thought to myself, like, I think there was a part in my head going, well, I mean, I guess I could put in a self-insert and have them be, like, get with Frisk or something, but at the same time, I was like, no, it doesn't seem to sit right. Like, yeah, everybody and their mothers made an Undertale OC, and I'm sure there's plenty out there that have gone straight for I'm gonna pair my OC with Frisk because that's how I want it in my head, and no one's going to tell me otherwise. But yeah, so I kept Asriel and Frisk together, but I still do have that self-insert, which is Damon.
Mm-hmm.
While he was originally meant to just be like the representation, like he was meant to be my Undertale persona, and he just, you know, like how a lot of people now are making Animaniacs OCs or
Yeah.
Animaniac sonars or wherever the term is.
Mhm.
That, but with Undertale. Now Damon, he still is very much me, but he plays no part in how the story of those Daydreamers plays out. He's more of he's there as an observer. Through my eyes, I get to see how everybody sort of interacts. He sort of roams around the underground, just checking things out and making sure everything's okay. He doesn't interfere with anything. If something happens, he just sort of takes a step back. It's like, it'll happen.
Charlie feared the chat. You just want to put them in a box, seal it, and send that bad boy to the post office?
Pretty much, yeah. Makes sense considering Frisk X
movie. That shit.
are pretty much controversial.
Cupcake. It's called one way to resurrect Azzy.
How much does it cost to deliver on that ship? I don't know. How much do you value your soul at, or your dignity?
My dignity.
Yeah. Oh, one means. Well, we can take your dignity now for one time payment, or we can take your dignity slowly at payments of $9.99 a month.
I'm just like, if I was honestly, if I had I always thought like if I had an Undertale sort of character and stuff in it. My thought of it would basically be like how Toby Fox has like a little white fox and stuff. I'd have like a little orange cat because I have a redhead and stuff. So
thank you for mentioning the annoying dog, actually, because as you may have seen on my blog, Frisk has encountered the annoying dog and does play with the annoying dog.
Yeah.
Which is always kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
She's friends with all the dog monsters in the underground.
Yeah.
Actually, I should mention something. Go on. No, you first, Cupcake.
I would want to be friends with all the dog monsters too.
I mean, they're adorable. I do have a version of I think is it the lesser dog, the one with the growing neck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So I do have a version of the lesser dog, but my favorite version of the lesser dog comes from Prinny's AU. Now I'm gonna.
They like pet,
yeah, and it just bursts through Mount Ever. I think that was great. It was fantastic. It's like, oh my god, that's cool.
People have thought of like so many joke ways to get out of the underground, like
yeah, exactly. You know,
goodest boy.
like using the dog as like a ladder.
Here's something I actually nabbed.
Making flowering grow so that we can just walk out of like the cave entrance that Frisk went into.
Yep.
There was a picture that Prinny did that I did nab from her blog, which I love, and I send it to people every now and again just to give them a sort of morale boost. And it's of the lesser dog, and it just says, "You are the good boy," and just something a little bit like to increase your determination.
Yes.
You are the good boy.
Good boy, good boy, good boy.
Good boy, yes. Must pets at all costs.
Yeah, he's a pet.
Hmm? Yeah, I always like the lesser dogs. They're so cute. And all the dogs, including Greater Dog and...
Fluffy.
I know a question I do get quite often on the blog is why are the monsters still in the underground? Isn't the barrier gone? And to that I say yes. However, in my AU, while the barrier is destroyed, they've lived down in the underground so long that it's home to them. This just means that they can come and go wherever they please. This is why you see pictures on my blog of Frisk and Asriel going to the beach, like outside. So it's there. It's just, I've not put it into like actual comic form, which is a plan eventually. Like I did have a comic cover made, which was going to introduce a new character of mine called Zane, who was a human who fell into the underground, and he would be discovered by Sans, who would then go to Frisk and Asriel and say, "Hey, we found this new human. They fell in the underground." And they'd be like, "Hold on, what? Wait, why?" And then they'd meet up, and Zane would be scared and run away. And Frisk, because she obviously used to be human, she could relate to a point, and through the story would try to bond with Zane. However, at the same time, is Kara trying to make a comeback. She needs a body to inhabit, because at the moment she's just a ghost. The only
I could hear you were about to say she's a ghost.
I mean, she has technically been a goat twice in the blog.
And it's been a Temmie also.
She's been a Temmie, an adorable killer Temmie, yes.
Yeah, murderous
Give me 10
Temmie.
flakes. Give me 10 flakes or I kill you.
10 flakes or suffer.
That's the best. And for the longest time, I was like, all right, I don't want to put in Kara straight off the bat. I want to hint at her. So for any of you who have actually checked out my blog, you may notice in a couple of pictures, a couple of posts, there has been a sneaky silhouette of Kara somewhere in the picture. It's only been recently that I was like, you know what, screw it. I'll just show her as if, like her updated design.
Niski 2006 says, "Yo, what's up? Hey Niski, how you doing? You're actually the only person that's actually probably bothering to watch a Twitch version of this. Seriously."
Oh, on Twitch? Oh.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Twitch.
Yeah, we're streaming Twitch and YouTube. Even though the Twitch one, I'm just like, why do I even bother? No one comes to me.
Yeah, you're spreading out to mobile bases. You cannot go wrong there.
Yeah. I'm never gonna get to an affiliate. Which really sucks for you, Cupcake, because you got to affiliate
Then my computer died.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just the week after, I believe, after I finally reached affiliate, because the dream count hadn't been working. Then the gaming PC that was the family computer just up and died and wouldn't turn on anymore, and so
Yikes.
yeah, so I haven't been able to stream since then.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm sure you'll get it
on
fixed
this
eventually.
potato that she now has. That's basically an emergency backup.
It kind of reminds me of an anime meme. It was this girl at a desk. She's got her hand on a desktop case. It's like there, my little war machine. And she's petting the computer's like another day sort of thing. I can't remember the meme exactly, but it was funny.
Yeah. Cupcake, I'm also wondering, what the heck are you spending so much time playing, like, the Nintendo Entertainment System thing on the Switch?
Well, most of it is mom and dad, actually, because I'm the only one that has Nintendo Online, and so anytime they want to play, like, one of the NES games or something, then they have to use my account.
I should
So-
really get Undertale on the Switch because I heard of all the different like like bosses they had.
Yeah.
Mew Mew, was it?
Yeah, Mew Mew. Yeah.
Mew Mew.
And isn't it that there's literally a unique mechanic for Mew Mew's fight?
Yeah,
To
yeah,
do
where
with, like, the
soul
different
thing splits
Switch-
in half.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm also like with yeah, it's honestly, I can totally see you Frisk X Asriel loving Mario Kart or something like that. Okay, speaking of which, alright, so I wanted to ask you why you ship Frisk X Asriel because I wanted to go into a bit on why I actually ship these.
I mean, go ahead. Why?
Oh boy, here we
let the
go.
tables turn. I shall be the podcaster, and you the subject.
Comfortably, this can't go on for hours. Okay,
You
no,
you better buckle
goes
in,
on-
sonny boy.
So I have a box of Pocky here. If it goes on for too long, you'll hear me start loudly crunching.
Oh yeah. I'm sure
Okay.
he'll get to other. I'm sure he'll get to other questions.
Yeah, I
He can
will.
pass his little obsession.
This is just okay. So, for those watching, you've known for a long time I like Frisk Grill a whole bunch. Now that I have a creator here that also likes Frisk Grill, I think it'd finally be the time where I describe this to. I describe why I love these two together so much. So let's start at the beginning of this. At the beginning, I wasn't really into any sort of Undertale ship at all, mainly because they were just like, yeah, I thought it was cute or whatever, but I don't need them. I don't love them. But then there's this one video. I think you know what video I'm probably gonna be talking about, Nate. It's called. It was this video of a dub compilation of these comics by Caliban or whatever, done by Go Jesus, and it had all these really cute dubs of Frisk and Asriel together, and I was just like, oh, they're so cute, and that was the first. But initially, I didn't really take much from it. But then, back in 2018, when it got back into Undertale, mainly because my brother was like, made me binge watch all of Glitch Tale that I had missed from that point, I rewatched that video and I realized, oh my gosh, they're just adorable. I love them. I love them. I really love them. I want them to be together, and I quickly go through a whole bunch of art and stuff of them, which is also how I found those Dreemurrs and stuff, and I just started, and I loved it all to bits. But then but then I actually started to think about, okay, why do I love these two so much? I mean, yeah, they're adorable and sweet, and I love the idea of the sweet little ghost monster being flustered by the.
I am quite flattered that you have put me on quite a pedestal in the post you made advertising the streams. One of the biggest members of the Frisk Grill community. Really? You really put me on that high of a pedestal?
There's not much there. I'm sorry.
Well, there aren't many other people that do the Frisk Grill stuff.
Not really. Not compared to a whole bunch of other ships, but.
Oh boy. Isn't Sans Toriel a ship? To me, that's just weird.
Yeah, Sans Toriel, Sans
You've been in this
Frisk.
fandom for
That's
so long
weird.
that you understand so little of it. It's kind of ironic in that way.
I know one of the stories is that that Toriel would sit at the door to Snowdin with it locked, and Sans would be on the other side of the door, and they'd be telling each other jokes because, as you know, they both got terrible jokes, puns for days. But yeah, that's one thing I know. I think that's the only thing of Sansriel, or however the ship name is pronounced. God forbid.
I believe it's what was it? Soriel, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But you obviously know the one. But to me, that just seems a bit weird. Like, no, like, yes, there's, Toriel and Asgore, yeah, they had their differences, but they belong together. It's like peanut butter and jelly, they go together.
Can I get back to my thing now, please?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so yeah, I actually went and had a big think about it, and I was just like, okay, why do I love these two so much? And I realized that there's way more layers to this than just them being adorable and stuff. Even though they are adorable, there is the fact that, for one, they would probably understand each other a whole lot, as they canonically are the only two entities slash beings that have had the reset power and stuff, and they know what it's like to have those godlike powers, and seeing those people, like seeing people you quote unquote love and stuff die over and over again, and other things like that. There's also like Frisk comforting Asriel from his past trauma, which I find super adorable. And there's also the thing of like Frisk and Asriel being it being an interesting story because the savior of monsters ending up with the prince of monsters, that sounds pretty cool. And also, but also it has interesting things to it, like especially if Frisk actually does becomes a monster ambassador, then that means that puts up a kind of weird conflict of interest, because oh wait, so the ambassador that's supposed to be sort of neutral between the humans and the monsters is dating the king's son. That's pretty weird. That's gonna cause some trouble, isn't it? But yeah, and they basically to sum it up, they probably understand each other better than anyone else. Frisk would be loving and comforting, while Asriel would also help with them, and the two of them being such important people to the monsters and the humans, they would also relate to that, having these positions of power, but also it provides a lot of cool conflict. And also I think it's really sweet, the idea of the person that helps save the underground ends up with the monster, especially the monster that suffered the most and needed the most help to be saved and stuff. And time.
I feel like John Mulaney right now. We don't have time to unpack all that. That was a word salad.
Yes, it was.
However, one part of that did actually catch my interest was you talking about Monster Ambassador, which kind of relates to something that I have mentioned in my blog, which is the Mount Pana undergrounds, the other undergrounds that is part of the. Hold on, I need to actually get the name up because I'm quite proud of this. But basically, the general idea is, I thought to myself, well, there can't just be one underground. I don't think it were possible for the humans during the war to shove all of the monsters into one underground. It's simply not possible. There wasn't enough room. So I thought to myself, well, there must have been other outbreaks, other conflicts on other parts of the world. So those people must have locked away the other regions of monsters, and Mount Pana is one of those such places. It's actually inspired by a mountain in Greece. I need to get the actual name. Give me a hot minute. There's a lot to scroll through. But essentially, the rulers of of this new underground, they are ruled by mice monsters. They are ruled by a sovereign. So king and queen is sort of it is just a term, but sovereign is the official title. That way, it's sort of a general, gender neutral kind of name. So when Frisk and Asriel hear about, the sovereign of Mount Pana wants to meet with you, it gives this idea of, who could it possibly be? It could be a king, could be a queen. And then they're obviously surprised when it's this small mouse called Celsius, who is tiny compared to the but
so
just
cute.
as powerful.
Yes,
she is
is
adorable. And she has a brother called Kel. The thing, obviously, as you know, a lot of the names in Undertale are based off puns for one thing or another, like tutorial. I'm sure Asgore is just gore. Like violence.
Mm-hmm.
Must be. And so I thought it was all right. Let's try and keep with that general kind of meme name scheme. And thinking long and hard, I was like, you know what? I could go off heat. Like different units of heat. And so you've got Celsius. You've got Kel, as in Kelvin. And there's even Fahrenheit, who is Celsius's bodyguard. They go hand in hand with each other, really. And then there's Zephy, which is based off the word Zephyr, which is to do with wind. And so there's that kingdom, and as Frisk and Asriel got older, it was like, all right, you need to go out and actually start building a relationship with all these different undergrounds. So all the different nations we once were allies with, we've long since been out of contact with them due to the fact we've been isolated in the underground. Toriel and Asgore are too old to be doing such trips, and now it is time for the prince and the newly crowned princess to actually go fulfill that role. And so they make the trip to the kingdom. I'm trying to remember the actual name of the kingdom.
Yeah, this is your stuff. You can't even remember.
I know there's a lot of stuff in it's in other places. I had a name for the family, and for the life of me, I cannot remember it right now. It's gonna do my head in, I swear. Oh goodness, I honestly can't remember.
Yeah.
Looking through all my stuff though is fun.
I'd totally think if we were a more popular podcast because this podcast is about. If we were more popular, I could totally see someone like like doing like a like animatic of that or something of my big explanation and stuff of me just going on about it. It's basically me like it's like that one meme of that guy with like the conspiracy board with all the pins and stuff being like, so here
Oh God,
and
yeah.
here.
And this connects to that, and this connects to this, and
And this is why they should smooch each other.
and it all makes sense. Believe me, it makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
one ask I always get, which makes me laugh, is it's like, what do you mean by it? Like, whenever you talk about Frisk, what do you mean it's a boss monster thing? And I'm like, I'll let you keep guessing on that. Like, was Queen Celsus being rude about the whole the it's a boss monster thing? Is she calling her fat? I went, no. Again, figure it out. There's always a general theme whenever I say it. It's just like people don't seem to be picking up on it, you know. It's a general boss monster trait. I swear. I mean, Toriel suffers from the same trait. Same with Kara when she's in her goat form. You just have to figure it out. Again, it's a boss monster thing. Figure it out. It wouldn't be any fun if I told you what it was.
Well, I know what it was because you explained it to us.
Oh yeah, you shush. No, it's gonna be like an episode of Doctor Who.
All I'm gonna say is
spoilers.
they're quite noticeable.
Yes.
It is quite a noticeable trait, in all honesty.
She's got great teeth. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, those fangs, they're so cute.
Okay, I know you kind of pushed down on this question before, but relating to your AU, okay, who the heck did confess first?
They both did.
You flip. Okay, do you at least have an idea of how it happened? You gotta
Oh
have
yeah,
that.
I absolutely do. I mean, I've kind of already said who confessed first. It's just people haven't picked up on it. It was in a
Including
very
me, apparently.
It was in a very early post. It was legit. Like if you look back, through my posts, you'll see, it's to do with how Frisk became a goat. She even says it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make
because
sense.
Asriel says to her, why would you do this for me? And she says, because I love.
Yeah.
By the way, that broken English is on purpose.
Yeah, what? What is it with that with Frisk? I mean,
it's more of she's conserving energy. She doesn't like speaking at length. She'd rather speak simplified. If she feels like she can get the point across in fewer syllables, the better. She can speak in coherent sentences, long coherent sentences, but it's only when she's pissed off or mad at someone. She's been mad at the two Asriels from those two AUs, and she's also been upset at the annoying dog for stealing Papyrus's arm, which does kind of beg to question about, because of the thing I revealed earlier.
Yeah.
But weird magic.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just wondering, like, okay, so Frisk actually did confess to Asriel and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that they didn't start smooching each other because they were like, what, 9, 10? So.
No, it's more of. I've always considered, like like Asriel and Frisk in the game to be around early teenager, like 12, anywhere between 11 and 13.
Yeah, I in my AU they're both 11. Well, 11 with if you don't count, they're mentally 11, not counting.
Yeah.
We don't know how long Chloe was looping. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just. But yeah, I'm just wondering, what other, do you have any other Frisk Real artists that you like, or are you just completely just don't know anything else about anybody?
No, I really don't. No, I'm kind of oblivious to anything outside of the little circles I'm already part of. I haven't had the time to expand my horizons.
Well, dang.
I mean, if you've got any recommendations, I'm more than happy to.
Oh yeah, that's right. I might as well do it here now, because there might be a couple more people watching this that are also Frisk Real fans that might want to get some new art. Okay, so there's lighting up the reef. She hasn't done stuff in a while, but she always does at least one piece a year, at least like for anniversaries and stuff for Undertale, and she does a lot of good work with them. Last year there was even a whole week of Frisk Real stuff from them, which is really great. And
would you send me links to them?
Yeah, yeah. Let me pull them up. Yeah. So yeah, there's
while you're searching through.
Yeah, there's
them. I finally found the name, the names I was looking for. The kingdom that Celsus runs is known as the Boreas Kingdom. The whole thing I went with was Boreas was the Greek gods of the cold north wind and the bringer of winter. His name meant north wind or devouring one. His name gives rise to the adjective boreal, which goes really nicely with the fact that the mountain I chose is located in Greece. So I actually need to make a blog explaining about that at some point. But I'll just pop this in the little chat so you can check it out later.
Yeah.
It was actually Prinny's idea for that. It's like there are a ton of mountains. You can choose any that exist.
Okay, just gonna put in the podcast chat. This is an example of the artist I'd like to's work.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yes. If Friskly small. Yeah, there's besides different things with their sort of thing. It's like Frisk is like a short girl, Asriel's a tall boy.
I know there are some people that obviously still play Frisk as being what's the word? Androgynous?
Androgynous, non-binary.
Yeah, that. Like I can understand some people going for that. I just find the idea of Frisk being a girl more appealing, and it makes for a less complicated ship. Don't have to jump through too many gender hoops.
Yeah, I'm fine with any form of Frisk girl, whether it be gay, straight, and all sorts of stuff in between.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. Thinking about other artists. Let me pull them up. Good. Opening up DeviantArt right quick. Okay, there's also.
Where's the elevator?
Where's the
While
Sounds
we're waiting.
like Dr. Merker, are you referring to the my Frisk not being much of a talker?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Speaking of which, there was Dr. Becca asked a question. I'm pretty sure that you don't know the answer to this, but basically they were asking also what's your opinion on outcodes, namely ones featured in Underverse, which I'm not even sure he's seen. Actually,
I
no,
don't think I have. No,
Namely error sands and sands.
I don't think I have. No.
Mm.
Again, I'll have to brush up on some of my Undertale stuff. I feel like such a rubbish guest at some points. It's like, well, I don't know too much about all these other things. I could talk about my own AU until the cows come home. But I don't want to drone your ears off to do with that. Unless you're fine with that.
Yeah, giving like some more artists in the.
He's too busy.
Yeah. I was just like, there's that one. Oh, there's that one.
Oh yeah, there's this one. I like that one, and oh yeah, this one.
Dr. Merrick, you say that you you like my stuff. No, it's Worthful Jaku. Sorry. You follow the blog, yes? If they're still here.
Yeah.
If they're still in the chat, I do apologize for the lack of updates. My partner who my artistic partner who helps with the art can only do so much in a month. I have to give her regular breaks, which is fair. So she only works 3 weeks out of a month. I always give her the first week off, and because she has some pretty serious health issues. She's got like really poor, I think it's immune deficiency or something like that. So she can get sick over the smallest things. Stress can make her health deteriorate faster. So she only works for so long. She used to work about 4 hours per session, but now due to reasons she's cut down to 3. She still does get quite a lot of work done in that time. I do my best to support her however I can. I think I started last year, or it might be in the year before, to not only help her somewhat and save myself some money, because she charges me at an hourly rate, $20 an hour, which is a reasonable price considering the quality of the artwork. Since we have a shared Dropbox, I have access to all the files. So I happen to have a graphics tablet of my own, so I'll do I'll just do my best to color what is there. I'm no good at doing complicated fur markings, so I just tend to flat color everything and say, all right, if there's going to be some markings, you do it the next session. I'm sure you can do it all in post. You're much better at that than I am, because I have no sense of consistency.
Yeah.
And I do know about Chani Draws. I know about Dashan, whose main character is the Knight, and the EX Shara, who is I've had a long conversation with him about their Kara being like a major fourth wall breaker, and that Kara actually goes out of her way to kill artists and stuff. So like she's self-aware, and openly mocks creators and stuff. But I think that's an interesting take on that. Let's see. So yeah, I know of Channy Draws, Long-tailed Azzy. I'm definitely aware of the Goat Bro and the Goat Sis.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Alpha Arts. Have you heard of that content creator?
No, I haven't.
Well, they do a really cute character called Taylor, who is a goat. Um, I got talking with the owner of the character, and I said, "Hey, would you be able to do a picture of them, like of Taylor with my Frisk, hanging out, having a sort of uh, a girl's day out, because Taylor comes across as this sort of this person who's in a shell and really shy." And I thought to myself that if this character had a friend, a gal pal, it would slowly open them up. So yeah, my Frisk is kind of infectious like that. She likes to uh, she tries to bring the happiness out of everybody. It comes from doing the whole mercy run, I suppose.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, my Frisk take a shot was uh she's kind of in a similar situation to your Frisk. She also she also went through uh went through a whole bunch of went through
Take your time.
went through a whole bunch of she also went through a whole bunch of stuff beforehand and all that, but yeah, she eventually came out the better side, and let's just say she had to do a lot of bad stuff to make sure she could start doing good stuff again. One of the reasons why she actually did turn around was because Asriel / Flowey, which I'm not gonna get into because that is a big spoiler for one. For my AU and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, trying to find this one.
Pause to stop yawning. You're making me yawn.
I know there's one answer there's one question I've never really been able to truly answer because I don't have a good enough answer, and that's to do with Kara. Why do I refer to her as Raven Kara?
Yeah, why do you refer to her as Raven
I
Kara?
honestly don't have a good enough explanation other than it sounds edgy. And Raven just because she has the black getup going on, the Delta rune on her clothing, on her on the back of her jacket is a sort of twisted version of the Delta rune. So it's meant to look more like wings, so blood wings, and so through some again mental gymnastics, I just okay, so I'm referring to tutorial as Eldatorial and Elder Asgore. Screw it, I'm just gonna put in Raven Kara as a sort of a temporary thing, so if I put tags in, I could just repeat that. And I guess the name Raven just sort of stuck.
It's because she's a ghost, and thereby she's nevermore. So
yeah,
freaking Raven. Is your car so like grrr violent because of the genocide around that?
Grrr violent. She just, I think she still has residual kind. She still holds a grudge from the humans. That from the event that happened in their childhood. Uh, her spirit lingered on in the underground for so long. Her soul attached to the flowers. That's how she can move about the underground through flowers and plants and stuff. The only way she's able to recently sort of materialize properly is by possessing a flower and using that as a sort of soul medium. But even then, it's only temporary until that will only last until the flower wilts and dies, and then she has to pick up another one and go through the process. And it takes quite a lot because, as you've seen from her ref sheet, her soul's in kind of shambles. It's kind of a icky mess.
Just a little bit.
It makes an amazing name for a metal band. Yes, it does. Charlie Farron in the chat.
What?
Blood.
Blood Wings. And she still has that grudge, and seeing Frisk with Asriel kind of definitely pushes her angry button, because she kind of liked him as well, and so that yandere part comes out. It's like, you big bibbo, go, she's mine, how dare you, I should be the one there with the happy family, not you.
And I noticed a little bit also of a little bit of a tsundere also, just from the
I don't like Asriel or anything, Baka.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, from the most recent go
yeah.
one. Yeah, I wanted that to be just like, this contradiction of like, I don't like, there's nothing special about being a goat. I mean, kind of, maybe. I mean, it is fluffy and kind of soft. Well, no. What am I thinking? No, stupid Frisk.
Stupid Frisk.
So there is that underlying kind of like jealousy can be a thing. I don't know where else I'm gonna go with that. I'll just I'll try and develop it over time, I guess. Again, it was a magical anon, so non-canon.
Non-canon question mark?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if.
Go on.
I wonder if you do like enjoy my characters enough, you'll be like, "Hey, blind, make that go version of them be their Frisk and Asriel version of them," which is kind of.
I mean, it has happened before. You know, I could just consider it as a sort of crossover thing I've done multiple times with other people.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to spend that money on me." It's like, I do it because I want to, because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm loving, and you know, art makes me happy. So
Honestly,
I get art for other people.
Honestly, like, I had this idea of my when I first was thinking of like making my own like AU at Asriel, I thought about like like those like trailers for like Super Smash Brothers and stuff, where it's like, here comes a new fighter.
Everyone
and all that.
here.
Yeah, just imagine in my Asriel just coming in and being like out of the white Asriel, out of the Asriel like comes in or whatever. And then the pun would be on like joins the battle, and yeah, just that sort of thing. Like I had the idea of like him like fighting all him like going up against all his different versions of him and stuff, which
that would be quite a infinite timelines, different IUs. The possibilities are endless.
Meanwhile, like the more combat focused they use and stuff, or fighting each other. Meanwhile, like stuff like growth spurt, and all that are like trying to stay off the sideline. Trying to stay on the sidelines.
And
oh right,
and
yeah,
then,
I have dealt with growth spurt. That's the. I know the creator. I've commissioned him before. Yeah, I know of that. Yeah, I was thinking of the Giga Goku AU, which I think I've interacted with that one before, but I do quite enjoy the growth spurt one.
Yeah,
that's interesting to see.
Mood.
Oh, absolutely.
Constantly tired. About a 20-something that doesn't look all that great.
All the time.
Yeah.
I think at some point I'm gonna try my best to organize this mess of an AU. Maybe I might overhaul the blog so that it's more of an actual personalized thing rather than just using a carbon copy theme. Might get one it's unique for the Daydreemurrs one. And then eventually start hammering out the script for the actual comic. Still focusing on asks now and again, but having that comic as the more main focus. And if that does get any traction, maybe at some point looking at getting dubs done.
Yeah.
I think I was asked that at some point. Say, hey, can I dub your stuff into another language? And at the time, I was like, no. If you do that, it's kind of like taking the art that I've commissioned, and it didn't sit right with me. But if there was some sort of like comic dub, I wouldn't mind that. I'd just have to look out for some interesting voice actors. I definitely have my eye on Cupcake because she does a few good voices.
Thank you.
Temmys for days.
Temmys for days. Hoi.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Welcome to Tim Shop.
I have no self-confidence in my own voice, so I don't know if I'd be any good at voice acting Asriel at all. I don't have that cool factor. If anything, it'd just be, I'd just voice Damien and just call it a day. I'd have to find someone actually good.
I voiced my own Asriel in this I have this tradition with my one friend where we basically just
do a reading.
Yeah, do a reading out each time I have a fanfic out. New chapter and stuff.
One of your guests you had a couple of days ago, Soft? Is that her name? Where are they from?
Malaysia.
Because I was right. Because I was listening to their voice and I thought to myself, well, that might make a good Frisk. Because obviously, like I explained, my Frisk has broken English, which is done on purpose, but she can still speak in coherent sentences when she wants. And it would be interesting to have a more I'm going to say exotic voice rather than it being just, British or American voice dubbing it. Have think outside the box a bit and go a bit down that route. I mean, I definitely would think about having Van Word having a couple of words with him, doing Papyrus, and see how good he would be at doing a Sans voice. Like, I mean, not like the cliche kind of, you know, I eat ketchup every day, but a more mature, still kind of goofy, but mature kind of voice.
Serious Sans.
Yeah.
Serious Sans.
Like he's
Instead of
yeah.
Maybe it's the way you're dressed.
Yeah, because like I explained, that he still does have this soft side, and he has this vulnerability to him because of his brother. But you know, he's not. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's smart. He's intelligent. He knows what's going on. Nothing fools him. So he needs to have that sort of serious kind of tone to him, yet at the same time maybe a bit relaxed. It's going to be an interesting road of discovery, trying to find someone who has that go-between.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just like, hopefully it does work. I would like just more exposure and stuff for this ship because I love it so much. And I mean, I wrote a whole 100K plus fanfic about it, but
I mean,
I still have more ideas for it. Still, even though my main AU's done and over with.
The best thing you can do is just keep working at it and see what clicks and what doesn't. Yeah. That's the whole part of writing.
So, getting back to your ass blog to a bit, what are some of the weirdest asks that you have gotten for this?
Well, the pregnancy one is a frequent ask that I get, which I refuse to answer. That's one of the weirder ones. Like, why'd you need to know if she was pregnant or not? How else do you think monsters come into the world? They don't just go materialize, like
it's just a pop.
It doesn't happen like that. It's not like Pokemon. They don't just suddenly materialize. Oh look, they suddenly had an egg. No.
It's my
they have working stuff down there. It happens the normal way. Why do you need to see Frisk being pregnant? Do you have some kind of weird fetish? I don't know. I'm not in the business of accommodating for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yes. Finally.
Standard way.
Now I found a whole bunch of art, Frisk real art and stuff that I've been meaning to find out. Just also regular Undertale art for this one artist. Just posted a link in the chat. But anyways, yeah.
I'm just looking through some of the other asks I've got. That just seems like a silly one. Darth Chara? I'll see if I can get that done before May the 4th.
The force is with you, young dreamer, but you are not.
May the 4th be with you.
Someone asking about, for Frisk, if you were to dress up like Wonder Woman and have her lasso of truth, who and what would you ask first? No. I don't think she's ever really thought that through, because why would she need the lasso of truth when she just mercies everybody and just kind of open up that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get? How do you find out about your person's secrets? I don't know.
I mean, I guess if I were to answer that, I suppose maybe she might use it on Kara. That's about it.
Yeah. Kara, why are you still mad at me? Because I've had a crush on Azzy since I was about 8 years old, and also you're a stinking human, and I feel like I haven't forgiven you or your people yet. I mean, a big blood. What about Revenge of the Fifth?
Some people ask, it's like, hey, Frisk, what is it like to always stand on the tip of your toes? Like, well, that's just how they stand, because they're not flat-footed. Like I've never imagined the goats in Undertale to be walking around pentagrades. I believe that's like flat-footed. Mm-hmm. It's always been on the balls of their feet, digigrade. So that, I guess, to answer that, just normal for her.
Actually, thinking about the goats for a second. So with your Asriel and Frisk dynamic, I'm guessing it's like Frisk is the better magic user, while Asriel is the better sword combat person.
Frisk definitely has a better affinity for magic. Asriel, on the other hand, he's like, yes, I do agree, he's more combat focused. He's better off when he's able to tap into the hyper god form.
Yeah. Some people ask me, like, wouldn't your Asriel have the hyper god form? It's just like, no, not the way it comes back. It's like, it's not like his old soul, or I think it's all brand new.
Yeah.
The energy's not inside him.
I mean, as you've seen from one of the posts I did, that my Frisk does have a hyper god form, but it's a result of the fact that Asriel and Frisk are linked now by the soul, so they sort of attributes have sort of shared and transferred over. Mm-hmm. So they can both use magic, they can both use determination.
You have a bunch of cool ideas for like epic battles or stuff, but you've never actually done much with that.
No, I would love to do a picture showing Asriel fighting against Undyne and just being an absolute boss with that. Just using the first time ever unlocking the Chaos Edge, which is his new variation of the Chaos Sword.
The Chaos Saber.
Yeah. Which that design for the Chaos Edge was inspired by a shield design from a game called Manachemia, which is part of the Atelier Alchemy games. If you've heard of that.
No, I have not.
Okay, so it's basically it's an RPG series with turn-based combat, but also parts where you'd go gather materials and stuff because you're an alchemist. Mm-hmm. You'd have so many days to go do certain objectives, etc. And there was this series called Manachemia, which was originally it was on the PSP. So you were in a alchemist academy, and the main character in that had a cat that was like his familiar, but transformed into one hand was like this sword claw, and the other hand was this long shield that basically covered his forearm. And I was inspired by that shield design to make something as a sort of sword arm, but also a shield, so he has offensive and defensive abilities. And sort of we changed up the design so that the top part of the shield closest to where his elbow is resembles the Delta Rune. If you have a look back at it, it sort of resembles the Delta Rune.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say this is just like putting me over for a second. They're so freaking fluffy. Also, I love the tails. The tails are like big and fluffier than most of them.
The tails are just like it's a must. I don't know why you wouldn't draw like Asriel or any of the other goats without them. It's like
Fluffy.
Yes.
It's like drawing Sans without his hoodie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or his slippers.
I made a joke in my it's just like it's basically the whole that tail is like super sensitive to boss monsters and stuff, and it's like it's like one time Asriel just wouldn't get out of bed no matter what Frisk tries. She's just like, you forced this on yourself, and she like tugs on his tail, and she's just like, don't do that. It's like you're tugging on my spine.
Ow.
I mean, you're giving me ideas now, but you're giving me ideas, but they're not safe for work ideas. And but my blog, I try to keep as safe for work as possible.
He tries to get away. She grabs his tail.
I think the only way to maybe make that
2008. Hi, how are you guys doing? And
is that on Twitch?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing? I'm glad that at least some people are watching on Twitch now instead of just negative none.
I guess the only way I could make that idea about tails being sensitive, the only way I could make it safe for work is like they're just sort of having a nice massage, and Asriel just goes a bit too low, strokes the tail, and you just see like in cartoons where they have like that real sensitive thing, and like you'll see like the whole body ripple from the bottom to the top, and just like that's the only way it could I could make it appropriate.
Yeah. By the way,
everything else would be like that. That's like welcome to Undertale after dark.
I haven't thought about that stuff at all. What? What side account for my NSFW works? No, you're just imagining that.
Oh no!
Please look into this light.
I couldn't do not safe for work stuff with working with blind, even if I wanted to, because she has standards, as I've explained to you before. I haven't explained obviously to the audience, but she has standards. If she can, it's just her basic artist limits that if she couldn't show her mother something, she won't do it. So there's a very fine line of how far I can push things. If you look on the blog, the shower scene is very soft NSFW.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's on the verge of it while not being like, it's not exposing anything.
What are you guys talking about right now? Oh, Dagaboo, we are talking about an Undertale AU and stuff made by Nate Duell, along with artwork by Blind Kite and stuff, who also did Grimm's Tale, if you're interested in that. And it's a pretty interesting thing. If you were on YouTube, which I'm also streaming on YouTube, I'd say for you to go down into the description and
check the links.
Yeah, check the links. Read it. It's a pretty interesting story and stuff.
It is fun working with blind. The years that I've spent working with her, how we get to like the designs that we end up on.
Mm-hmm.
Is like I have all these ideas buzzing around in my head, It's hard to pick one, but when I do eventually land on one, I'm like, all right, I'm going to stick with this, and then I have to sort of obviously develop it more. It's like, okay, how am I going to deal with outfits, because outfits are the bane of pretty much everybody's life, I swear. It's like, oh, what looks cool, what works, what doesn't work, and I'm very much a weeb. Everybody knows this. Everybody in my friends list knows this.
I mean, if you actually do read my AU, there's like so many references to so much anime, especially about one where depressed kids pilot giant robots, but.
Oh. But yeah, they're like, oh, how do you come up with these designs? Like, what? And it's like, I go to Google and I literally search up whatever, like I look for anime jacket or anime outfit or anime hairstyle, and I will scroll for hours until I land on something that I kind of like. I will say, oh, I kind of like that, and I'll put that to one side, and I'll keep scrolling. I'll find something else, and I'll go over, and I'll like put that to one side, and eventually, once I've got enough sort of references and stuff I like, I'll go to Blind and say, hey, I got this idea, here's the character, but can we I want the outfits that they're gonna wear, I want it to be sort of like a mix between this and this. Can you like mesh them together but like put a personal spin on it, so we're not ripping off the two designs entirely? You know, I want there to be a bit of originality, but still show that I was inspired by the original source.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, one of the things as a writer, I'm just like, people are just like, oh wow, you gonna, wow, you gonna. Oh wow! What is your Frisk X Asriel actually look like if they were drawn? And I'm just like, I thought about it because I'm just like, I don't know. Asriel wears a hoodie because in the actual comics I don't describe what they're wearing all that much, so I'm just like, a green shirt, yellow.
Writing can be hard. I'll agree with you on that. So.
Yeah, I mean I like your design. Your designs are cool. Very cool and stuff. I really do like them. It's just and I'm just like, wow, they look so natural and stuff on them. And I love how you like incorporate like Frisk's colors and well, Asriel's kind of just gray and stuff. I wish it had at least a little bit of green and yellow on him, but yeah.
I try to have some kind of like show how they were before. Frisk was sort of easy with that. Asriel, I was sort of like, I don't know really what color he was wearing before, and I didn't, or if I did, I forgot about it. And I was like, all right, so he's older now. He needs a more sort of mature update. I think what it was is with his more adult form, that I taken color references more from the clothing from the hyper form than like kid Asriel with the green and yellow sweater. Rather than using that, it was more of the hyper god outfit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which made more sense, given like there's still that relation with that.
Yeah.
But you say that the designs look natural. It's like, like that's only because I've got a good artist backing me up. But I've had multiple characters that have suddenly been done out of complete spontaneousness. I think I made a character for a completely different story for something else. Just one day while I was at Pizza Hut, I was like, I kind of want to make a squirrel alchemist who uses a giant sword, and we did that. I think we did that in about a day, I'm like, I'm gonna keep with this.
Ooh.
Some really weird designs and I don't know
Yeah.
what else really to say otherwise other than my brain be funny like that.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to character designs like that, what I've noticed though is like this is a constant with all sorts of like quote unquote grown up versions of characters and stuff. So many like characters that used to be kids now wear jackets, and I didn't get that for the longest time. But now I wear jackets and hoodies constantly. One because I'm skinny and I don't keep in heat all that well, but also because I think it looks cool, and I feel like it helps me carry around stuff. But I also just like, but yeah,
They're just comfy, you know?
yeah, they're comfy. I like that.
Yeah. And mine are always a little bit too big because I'm short for my width.
I'll just send you a 4XL hoodie and be like, douche. Now you will
Yes.
be warm forever.
Yes.
Yeah,
But with the
wait
sleeves
a
are long,
minute,
so I can
hoodies.
flop
Where
people.
is there something?
Flop.
Hey, Cupcake.
What?
Did you?
What?
Wasn't there like something you were like making for my birthday or Christmas that was a Frisk Real thing with them like sitting on the couch together?
I don't know. When's your birthday?
May 2nd.
Mine's tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, you old man, he 32. Which, it must be
It'll be an
odd
old
hanging
man.
out in a fandom like this when you're.
Nah.
Well, there's a whole bunch of.
You're never too old to enjoy something.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's just like, oh my god, all these children around me.
Children.
I mean, you're here, so it just means you're equally as weird as I am. So
Yeah, you run a
you
blog
wouldn't be here if you didn't like it. So
not gonna, not gonna lie. I mean, at least I was like, at least you were just like, yeah, I'm just gonna run a blog and stuff. Meanwhile, I'm just being like, hey guys, it's on my YouTube channel and all over my social media. Check it out.
Look at it.
even though you have way more followers than I do, but that's mainly because
I mean, I am utterly amazed that I think what is it, 4 or 5 years ago I started the blog, and I've only made 131 posts, and in that time I have managed to gain 3,366 followers. It's mind blowing that I've got that much. Like I just it just boggles the mind that people keep coming back and keep liking it. Like, oh, thank you very much. Again, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be where it is without the people helping me with the artwork and stuff. So they have as much claim to these followers as I do.
Yeah, just great how you how this for this stuff how you could all work together and all that. Also I'm just like looking through. I'm looking for all this stuff, and I'm just like, there's a bunch of memes, but there's also a bunch of like, oh, I sent you so much cute stuff.
Well, it's like I said, like I've been commissioning now for over 10 years, and in that time I've come to appreciate artists. I used to I used to be in live streams and I used to nag and get things wrong, and but over time it's just, you know, there's no time limit on when someone will have done a piece of art for you. If if it's on a live stream, they'll get it done when they get it done. They normally are pretty good with that. It's like, all right, we'll start today. If I don't finish today, then we'll probably pick it. We'll pick it up next stream. But if it's people who don't stream, you've just got to have faith in the fact that they'll do it. You know, you've paid them up front. They're gonna do it. They've got a job now. They're you know, in a legally binding like unspoken contract that they will deliver the goods. And rather than being a nag, which I've seen some people be absolute terrible people with artists, and that's not fair. You shouldn't do that. You need to respect that they are doing something for you. They are taking time out of their day, putting in hours of effort to do something for you. The least you can do is be appreciative of it. Obviously, there are times where, like, you know, something doesn't seem right, and there you are well within your right to ask for minor changes, depending. And 9 times out of 10, artists are perfectly fine doing that. But you just need to make sure that you're respectful. Don't overstep any bounds. Don't give them any lip, because that's the fastest way that they'll just say no. I won't work with you anymore. You can have what's left, but I won't work with you anymore. That's the fastest way to a blacklist. So, you know, show your artists appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to those people who go out there and go, hey, I would like to get some art from you. Yeah, okay, how much does that cost? Oh, money? You want money? I was going to pay you an exposure. No. Those
No.
people who do that, go away.
Stop it.
I've been told not to use swears on this stream, so I'm not going to. So go away, get a life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. I do appreciate you saying that, because that's one of the things that I'm nervous about, because I'm gonna be opening commissions soon.
I mean, you did that, right? You what you're showing in the Discord?
Yeah,
it's
I
really
did those.
good. I mean, how long is it taking you to do those? Just to the second picture, the work in progress. How many hours have you put into that?
Well, I think about I'm trying to remember, because it's been scattered over almost a year. I'm sorry, Pasta. That doesn't usually happen. But that one, if I put all the time together, I would say about 4 hours.
Well, it's still 4 hours out of your time. I mean, you could be doing other things, but you've decided to put in the time to do this because, you know, either someone commissioned you or this is something that you want to do, and there's no real time limit on like how long it takes. You know, you draw at your own pace, and you know you want things to be good. To your standard of, you know, if I don't feel happy about it, then I'm not going to release that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had something else I was going to say, and it just went.
I get that.
Brain, why'd you forsake me so? Oh no. Oh goodness. Brain, I hate you. I hate you so much.
Here. I'm looking through it and stuff. It's just like you saying like, here, have a hand, and I'm just like. Also looking through this stuff. It's like,
yeah.
This is about the same time that we were actually like developing the idea for this podcast. Like, hey, look at this thing.
Yeah, look at
hey,
this
look
thing.
At this like logo and stuff. Doesn't it look neat? And you're just like, yeah, it does look neat.
I remember the other bit now. It's again with artists, that whenever I've commissioned them, one thing I always tell them is that I don't care how long it takes you to do something. The only thing I require from you is that you have fun with it. You know, I try to challenge artists, give them like have you ever done this before? Have you ever drawn Pokemon? Have you ever drawn Undertale stuff? And yes or no, it's like, all right, this is a new challenge for you. So you know, I'll commission you to do this piece, but at the same time, to just have fun with it. It's a new learning experience, you know. Again, if you're not happy with it, then I'm not happy with it. So, you know, both parties need to be satisfied with it, not just, you know, the commissioner at the end of the day. This is meant to be as fun for you as it is for the person receiving, and that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yes, pasta. What?
I'm looking. I'm sorry, I'm kind of distracted. I'm still trying to look for the thing through our chat. Ah, there. Yes, there it is. Freaking found it. It looks great. It looks adorable. It's just that you only had like half a sketch done for it.
Yeah. I have Asriel's line art done, and I started Frisk, but then I also, at that time, I started working on the drawings that are going to be on my commission sheet, so...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it keeps getting put on the back burner.
It's okay. Hey, maybe you can get done by my next birthday in May.
Maybe.
Maybe. Hey guys.
What?
Can February, March?
No, but April,
May.
Alright. I'm sorry. Sorry, I just thought of that. Anyways. Is
there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Yeah. Just as a quick other, as a sort of like side, furry thing and stuff, do you have like a specific like favorite like type of animal combination stuff? Like I personally really like werewolf girls / dog girls, and also there's also really like
I'm a sucker for dogs, so mostly that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've seen your fur affinity. Your thing is basically just all like doggo people.
Doggos for the win, yeah. I mean, I tried to expand out. I've got a couple of elves in there. I mean, I have a vampire who, she's brilliant. She's called Annie Helsing. She's a hacker, and she only receives payment in blood bags. She drinks them like they're Capri Sun. She just literally sticks a straw in it. She's great.
I just there's also like with my own personal stuff, like I've been thinking a lot about this one personal story idea that I have and stuff. It's like that's also kind of furry related. It's like last night I like actually like started to think about like, okay, how this world come into being and stuff, and how did like animal people actually start out, and I'm just like, hey God, what if the gods and goddesses that made this like world and stuff, they're just like, hey, you know what? Basically, really bored one day, be like, hey, what would happen if we put like a cat and a person together?
You get an echo, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't consider like cat girls, you know, with just the ears and tail as furries. They have to actually be covered in fur for me to consider them furries, which has been a great point of contention between me and one of my friends who is just like, cat girls count. I'm just like, no, they do not.
Look, cat Nekos can be deceiving though sometimes. Just look at Felix.
Oh yeah.
That one video of a guy at Comic-Con. Yeah, you looking real cute. Well, what's your name? Oh, thanks. My name's Felix. Oh God, I'm gonna go kill myself.
You're secretly gay. How awful.
So, I do have a picture somewhere as like boys make the best girls.
You know what would be an interesting ask though.
Go on.
How would Asriel react to a male version of Frisk? Like either just either fluffified or as it.
I may have to explore that at some point. Magical Anon, just for one pose. Just oh look, they're like
I have
gender swapped. It's like I mean, you've already seen what happens when to Frisk when Asriel takes his shirt off. So there's sort of hearts in the eyes. So it's probably going to be very similar to that.
Well, not shirt off, jacket off. Like
for that, I wanted to be as anime as hell. It's like, all right, I've seen enough times of Yu-Gi-Oh, like Seto Kaiba grabbing the jacket, epic thing, swish.
Swoosh.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that.
I honestly I'm surprised that you haven't like put like all the characters into a hot spring yet, considering.
I have a picture elsewhere, which is hot spring stuff, but that's like just other characters elsewhere, not related to the blog.
Yeah, I know. I know you did that for like some of your other characters you made, but not the.
I mean, the nearest you get to that, the hot spring thing is
like the beach.
was the Frisk River picture.
Yeah, in waterfalls.
It was just
stuff.
her. I think in terms of my blog, that is probably my favorite picture. How it came out with all the lighting effects, the bioluminescence and everything. Just it made everything look really nice. It was a good set
That's actually
piece.
a good question. What I think my favorite picture is from your blog? I think.
What is your favorite picture from my blog?
Well, how would I pull it up right quick? Okay, so.
I mean, just describe it to me.
Oh, by the way, I really like the most recent one with them in bed. Not because because I get to see more of their fluffiness and stuff, but also I'm just like I'm a big snuggling person. I really like the idea of snuggles and stuff. That's probably one of the big reasons why I am a furry. I like the idea of like me like hugging something, but also being soft and fluffy, and they can hug me back. Yeah. Anyways, let me look through this. Dang, Frisk, look well thick at that one, if I'm being honest. Just looking through the blog. Aw, Stefan's so cute. I mean, that on the beach is pretty cool, but I don't think that was my favorite. Oh, Jesus. One Deltarune post. So many reblogs. Okay. Oh, guys. God dang it.
What? Where'd you go? What?
I couldn't hear you. I'm not sure if that also cut out for.
No. I mean, all Cupcake and I heard was you just going on a long ramble.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through your blog, being like, which one's that?
Yeah.
And I told you to be quiet.
I thought that was like, what? Did he disappear because you told him to? Oh no! Did we push him too hard? Come back!
Come back!
But yeah, to Pastor, to explain a bit for Cupcake's thing about like why she liked the ambassador picture. the outfits they're wearing in that, I want it to be somewhat reminiscent of the outfit that Asriel has in the game when you first see him, in the hyper god form. So and I just thought that this just looks smart, like taking that but sort of making it more formalized. And then I did the same for Frisk. It's like, all right, so they're gonna have like a matching thing, but Frisk is gonna have no arm sleeves, and it just kind of looked nice. And I also got asked to just like, oh, can we see the outfit that Frisk was wearing? And luckily, we managed to get that done. She do be looking kind of thick though. It's that dress. It's very poofy. It doesn't show off her true weight. Like her, it's deceiving. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's pretty pretty."
This is the favorite picture you.
Oh, that one. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Gotta have the hug.
Yes.
As you know, sometimes on the blog,
there's a close.
This is a close second.
Yeah.
Yes.
The boop.
That one's adorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, every now and again on the blog, there are pictures that are colored, some that are more in that monotone white and gray. Part of that is more of a time decision, like, okay, how much time do I want to be spending on this particular piece? Because the more if I decide to go colored, that's a lot more expensive. If we do monotone, it's
gonna take a lot more time for it to come out.
The monotone one is less effort, less colors to do. So each I normally reserve the monotone ones either for long comic strips or certain individual ones, where it's like we want to get this ass done, get it out quick, waste no time. And then other situations, it's just kind of like, yeah, I can afford to spend the time to have a bit of color in here. I think it'd be interesting, like the beach picture, for example. It wouldn't look the same in monotone. The color makes it look right. It's the same with the river picture. If it was monotone, it'd be boring and bland, and it wouldn't sell the scene properly. With it in color, you get a sense of this sort of, she's in a peaceful place. There's this natural lighting that's going on, and your eyes get to absorb all this information from the environment, and eventually you pick up on that little Kara in the back, which is the sneaky bit.
So actually, just as a kind of more boring ask, why do you call what made you come up with Stefan? Why is their name Stefan?
I was just going through lists of names that I couldn't think of anything too creative for, like, pun names, and I was just thinking to myself, well, does it have to be a pun name? I mean, Frisk came from a human world, so there's no reason why she can't just name her son a human name. It'd be an interesting sort of throwback to her old life. So not everything has to conform to the Undertale mold, as it were.
Yeah.
There are, since it's an AU, there are liberal freedoms you can take.
Yeah.
But also, can I just say, I love Stefan. He's just so cute.
He's adorable young. As a teenager, he's an angsty boy.
He's an angsty boy. But I still love him.
He's an angsty boy that hasn't fully learned to control the the hyper god powers that he has.
Yeah,
I
honestly, though, when I
haven't
think
even
of
just my tongue can't speak. I haven't even decided yet what kind of hyper god he will be, or what powers he will have. At this point in time, he's just a cute boy who loves to take walks with his mom and dad.
Yeah. Also, he's got to have some friends, doesn't he?
Big pun? He'll have other friends, yeah.
Yeah. Also, by the way, when I more imagine a cross between Frisk and Asriel Kid, well, this is more me having Frisk still be human and stuff. I always imagined something more like this. Brown goat.
Little brown.
Brown boy.
Little brown.
Well,
I could probably do that as like, oh, as Asriel spent too much time out in the sun, he got a bit of a tan.
Yeah. My fan child for them, which by the way, always with like some AUs and stuff, I'm just like there's like a point where it's like a little too far in the future for me to be comfortable and stuff. It's like maybe like again like the most I pushed in my story is about like 15, 20 years since the underground stuff. That's about as far as I'll go. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, my fan child for them is called Sophia and it's based. I think I explained this to you earlier, but it's based off to keep with the kind of religious stuff that the Dreemurrs have. She's named Sophia, based off the Hagia Sophia, which is a big ass church that's been converted into a mosque and stuff. It was like the pride of like the Byzantine Empire and all that.
That goat has five toes. That's odd to me.
They don't even know what you're talking about.
Like the picture you sent, brown goat. She's got 5 toes. That's odd to me because the way that as my Asriel and all whatnot have been drawn, they're like more like traditional paws, so they'll have either 3 or 4 toes. So it's weird to see someone else's take on that. It's like, oh god, human toes. It's so not something I see very often in artwork, that when I do see it, it's kind of like, oh my god, that actually exists. I have to do like a double take.
Yeah, I think we're gonna actually wrap it up here because we've been talking for quite a while. Oh my god,
it has been quite a bit, yeah. Cupcake, you don't have any last minute questions, do you?
No, my last minute thing was just commenting on how cute stuff.
Oh, I appreciate it. I will
anybody in the chat, I know there's only like 5 of you, but if you want to say anything, say now or forever hold your peace.
It's live for a reason.
I will continue to get cute stuff out to the best of my ability. When I have a chance to sit down with Blind again.
Blind, hey Blind, I got a whole bunch of new ideas. Do you have the money? Yeah, okay.
Always. I mean, just at the moment, I haven't been able to do any Undertale related things because I'm currently, well, the 2 of us are currently focusing on a Monster Hunter Rise inspired picture. Because I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. A friend of mine is too. So I was like, I'm going to get a picture of my persona and her persona together in the new starting armor as a sort of tribute to our love for the game. My hopes is once it's all done, the only thing left to do is shading and some extra little finer details. Once that's done, it's going to be uploaded to Fur Affinity. I'm going to also post it on my Twitter, and I'm going to tag like the Monster Hunter official Twitter and see what happens. If they like it, that's good enough for me. If they share or comment, that would just blow my mind. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Blindswork definitely deserves a retweet and stuff because.
Oh, absolutely. I will tell her that I was on your podcast and see if she would be interested.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely tell her I gave her a shout out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on the podcast. This was a fun experience.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, thanks for being here, Nate Duel. It was nice to have you. We'll probably be talking a lot more about Frisk and stuff for a long time now that
I absolutely expect it. Yeah.
Now that I have you in my claws, in my DMs.
They'll be bugging me the entire time. Look at this Frisk X stuff. So it's like, yes, very nice.
It'll be like 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm trying to sleep, but cute Frisk X. Me sleep.
I would like to see like a baby Stefan though, just like.
I mean, the Stefan that I've posted, he's like 3 or 4 years old. It's as close to baby as you're going to get.
Yeah, no, I'm more thinking like, I would more like to see like how like Asriel react to like being like, oh my god, I'm a dad.
I mean, that seems a reasonable request.
Yeah. Because,
all right.
Because I felt like when Frisk told him that, there was just a part where it was like, I'm a dad. Oh god, I'm a dad. I've done so many terrible things. Can I really be a good role model?
I don't deserve this little beautiful bundle of joy.
Exactly. But yeah, concerning us for the Determined podcast, we actually have something planned. I know, freaking weird.
Ooh.
We have something planned for next week. We're gonna be interviewing a whole bunch of people that worked on Bonely Hearts Club and stuff. There's gonna be
the Bonely Hearts Club development team, right?
Yeah.
At least some of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be next Sunday on the 28th, and after that on March 5th. We're gonna be interviewing Gail Rice, who is a really popular Undertale animation creator. His Undertale work, especially with Undying, is freaking great. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I hope you all join us for those two things coming up. And yeah, I hope you all have a good night. Take care, and remember, stay determined.
Stay determined.
Stay determined.
Stay determined. And we'll